Hello guys, so it's time for another pickups video, and this one is going to be spicy. So what has your boy the Tarantula picked up over the last few weeks? So the first game I'm going to show you is definitely the spiciest one, and that game is Slyracoon. Now the funny thing is about this is it was in one of my very local CEX stores, and when I went to pick it up, it turns out they had all three, that's right, all three PS2 Sly games. But because I've decided now that we're sequel games that I'm only going to pick them up if it's worth it, like the opportunity's there. If they're not in any other closer CEX stores and it's more expensive online, then I'm just going to pick them up now. With the Sly games, obviously this was £25 in CEX, and then the other two games respectively I think were about 40, I think, between them. So, and because they're just going to be on my shelf for a while, there's no point me like dropping that kind of money, even though they could be more expensive by the time I get around to picking them up anyway. But that's just the decision I've made. But it was so nice to pick this up. It's nice and complete, obviously, and yeah, I'm just so excited to have this now. Definitely one of my more sought after games on my list. Next PS2 game is Aeonflux. And now, to say that this game is pretty much a good movie tie-in game is pretty good, because there aren't many of them out there. And I think in terms of reviews, this got about 7.6 or 7.8 out of 10. So it's actually pretty good. I have played this game before, and it was pretty cool. I liked the combat. I liked different other aspects about it. But I haven't played it in a very long time, so it'll be interesting to see just how it works nowadays and just how different it feels. But I'm sure it's going to be really good. Next games now, and my first game is Crimson Skies. Now this game by far is definitely not the kind of game I would have played back in the day when I was starting to play my Xbox, but the fact that it's a well-loved game and it's so, like, I'm starting to get a real kind of love for those kind of games where you're kind of in a plane or something like that. Obviously I've played a bit of Rogue Squadron on the GameCube, and I really enjoyed that, and just in general I just love those kind of things now anyway. And because this has been well received and just everyone seems to love it, it just seems weird not to have this in my collection. And it's an absolute great copy. It's really beautiful, nice and complete, of course. I'm really happy that I own this now, and just can't wait to see what all the fuss is about. The next two games are games that I've owned before, but I've never really got into, and that was the original two Splinter Cell games. Now, this had a price bump a while back, and it obviously went right the way back down again to £1 each now. I never really played the first one because I just, as stealthy as it was, it just wasn't my thing back in the day. But now, again, because when you look at the reviews and stuff, it's like this got 9.4, this got 9.5, and Chaos Theory got 9.6. So they're obviously amazing games. And obviously, again, because my mindset of gaming has changed now, I really want to get them and play them and just experience it on the whole. You know, my brother said that Conviction and I think Blacklist are the two best in his opinion. But obviously with these it could be kind of different, I suppose. It just depends. But I do love the idea of playing them again. I do love games with different gadgets and stuff, so I like that. Definitely think when I play these I'm going to be a bit more patient rather than just kind of running in all guns blazing, because I do that on stealth games. I'm known for that. My brother's makes a joke quite a lot about me doing that, so definitely something I'm going to focus on and trying to be as stealthy as we can. Next game is another game that I've never really even heard of, and that game is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. This is definitely not the first game in the series, I believe. I believe there was one before this, but it wasn't well received. And looking at this one, it's like a tactical first-person shooter game. Now, I'm not really a big fan of tactical games in that respect. The fact that it got good reviews as well, and the fact that it's like in terms of gameplay actually looks good. I did play the Socom game, the first game on the PS2, but I didn't really like it. And I know, again, a lot of people love that game, and it's really good. But for me, it just didn't feel right. This looks really cool. Can't wait to see what it's like. Next game is a very interesting one to me, and that is Clancys End War. So, looking at the gameplay, it looked a lot like Halo Wars, it looked a lot like Battlefield Middle-earth 2, and it looked a lot like Command & Conquer. where you like build your troops and you build your vehicles, etc., and you go on the offensive. And it's an interesting kind of scenario. I don't think it's quite like those games in that respect, but I'm sure that just looking at it, it did look pretty similar. So the last game that I picked up over the last few weeks is The Persistence, a survival horror game that's something I've been looking at for a while now. And originally I was going to pick this up when it was about £10, but I kind of didn't really know a lot about the game. Like, there was no IGN review. And looking at the gameplay, I wasn't 100% convinced. But I had a look at the gameplay again, and I looked at the Metacritic score, and it got 75%, which is pretty good, let's be honest. I think first-person horror games are kind of where the direction is going. So if you look at stuff like Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7, you kind of see it as, you know, it's definitely much more scary, for sure, than a third-person perspective. At least in my opinion, anyway. So, once again, that is it for a pickups video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, subscribe down below and turn on notifications so you, that's right, you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. And until the next video, guys, as always, take care of yourselves.